meeting, which is meeting 9, is to give our prospective foster parents and adopted parents an opportunity to learn more about foster care and adoption by hearing directly from persons who are experienced in those programs. We also want to give program members an opportunity to share information with some of their family members and friends who may have an important relationship with the children who are placed with our program members, which are your family and friends that you come here to support tonight. Now tonight, of course, I have some special people with me from my corporate office, and I'm going to let them go around the room and introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about why they're here and what they do for the company. Starting down here on the end.
I'm Carolyn Ball, and I met most of you already. I'm the regional manager for Montgomery, and I'm a therapist by
Good evening, everybody. My name is Marquise Myers, and I'm the Human Resources Director for the agency.
Hi, my name is Bridget Burke, and I am with Suraj Family Homes out of our Washington, D.C. office. However, I am from Mobile, Alabama, and I've been with the company 17 years now, working as a placement coordinator, and I also do the training that you guys just went through with various other things with Suraj.
Okay. Introduce yourself.
My name is Willie Dubois, so I guess they'll say they call me Mr. Sarod. Most of the time I'm on the man to be around and be talking.
Yes.
Sad to say, we really have a whole lot of men that cost me, but I've been in it for I think 15, 16 years. Me and my wife.
Okay.
My name is Alice Freeman. I'm the case manager. I'm the one that'll be coming out to your house to visit the children in the house. So I have no set time to show up. You know, if I come today at 4 o'clock, I might come tomorrow at 9. Just be on the P's and Q's because I'm there to investigate and see what's going on.
My name is Courtney Peterson. I'm a former foster child, and I'm here to give you insight on my situation and my experiences being a foster child.
And I bring up the rear. I'm Ella Wilson. You guys know me in here because I also teach GPS, but I also work at the corporate office. I do a little bit of everything. We wear many of hats at the office. I work in the finance department as well as I work in the billing department and just fill in wherever I can.
And for those of you who don't know, I am Felicia Strouder. I am a GPS instructor, marketing rep. I manage the Grandma Home House. I'm also a professional trainer. We laughed on Saturday because when we got to the CPR class, I don't think they knew I was going to be teaching it. So I stood up and I said, I'm your teacher. Like, we need to teach everything. But just to give you guys a little bit about what has been going on for the past 4 weeks with your family and friends that you're here with, they have really been a joy to be around, and we have really gotten to know each other really fast. Normally we spread this course out over 10 weeks. But we crammed it all into 4 weeks. They wanted to work hard and do it twice a week, and they've gotten it done. And they are at the end of the road now. So we're so very proud of them and so happy to have all of them in this class, and they've all hung in there, every last one of them. And I know it meant a lot of sacrificing at home and at work, but they made the sacrifice and they did it. So I'm so very proud of this class. Y'all just don't know. I tell y'all that every week though. But we're so proud of y'all, and I'm so proud that they were willing to bring their family and friends here tonight to share in this with you guys, so you'll know exactly what they're doing, and hopefully encourage some of you to join the next class. Okay. Tonight's meeting is basically a discussion. It's a question and answer session. All of these wonderful people up here have given up their time to come tonight so that you can ask them questions about what you're getting into. Everybody represents something different. Alice, as she said, is the one that'll be coming into your homes. I know you have a lot of questions about that. I would want to know who's coming into my house and what they're coming in there for. Okay? You got 15, 20 years experience sitting here at the table. He's had every kind of child there is, every age child in his home. So many that he can't even let them go. If you know anything about him, you know that his kids they never leave them. We have Bridget here. Bridget can answer any kind of question. Anything that you need to know, she can answer it. I have Ella here if you have something you want to know about money. I tell my class, we keep it real. I know that you're here because this is what you want to do from the heart. But the reality of it is that it takes extra finances to raise children. Okay, so that's the reality. So I don't discourage you from asking questions about money. But, as I tell you in class, we just don't focus on it. But if you want to ask any type of questions about money, feel free to. And then you have Carolyn here who runs the Montgomery office. She'll be the one that'll be a part of the placement team that will make the placements in your home. So this is a person that you really want to get to know. Okay? She'll be your best friend when it comes to placing the children in your home. She's a matchmaker, as I call her. Right here on the end, that's the matchmaker. Okay? All right, so now that I've told you a little bit about what everybody can bring to the table, I'm going to open it up for question and answer.
Yeah, right here. Well, I just lost my mom about a month ago. And my house is lonely. And I got a lot of love to share with someone. And I would love to have a little boy or a little girl.
Did it have to be
I
little?
really want to make my own.
Did it have to be little?
Not really, but I just prefer a little.
Why? Why?
I just want to make it be a part of me. Maybe I could just teach it something. I don't know. I just want a small person. I'll accept the large person, but I just really want a small person.
Well, you can
Love little children and old people.
you can train the little ones, and you can train some of the big ones. But you got different types of kids. You got kids put in there because they have no choice. You got kids put in there because they were just bad. You got kids that they can't even do anything with. Like you take this little rail. It looks so sweet, don't it? He looks sweet. He can be trained, but he's just real hyper. But you're not gonna always get kids like that you can train. So you're gonna get some kids that think they already know everything. And then you got some older kids that have been there for a long time. Just think nobody cares anything about them. Those are the kids I always try to get next to. The ones that gave up on life. They say, well, yeah, nobody cares anything about me. And that's what they've been through. But I always tell, I hate to say foster parent, but I tell them, I'm gonna call that foster parent, okay? If say I'm a foster kid, I've been in here, I don't want to come to here. You follow what I'm saying? When I come to you, I want you to treat me right. Treat me just like you treat your own kids. Because are these kids any different from your kids? No. But you think about your mama and your dad, you have a mother and dad, no extra kin. You want to a strange place. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. You're gonna have to adopt your life to a whole different situation. Because you don't understand your kids. Know your kids. You got to find out what they don't like and what they do like. I've had some kids that didn't care about nothing. I could not get to them. I always tell Sarah, if I can't get to them, you might want to let them go. That's just the way I feel. I feel they're just strong about it. And I do not joke. Believe me, sisters and brothers, you can make an impact. When you're in for the money, you know going like you do. Huh? You know what's going like you do. But it's not a money-making operation. Huh? It's all about love. See, I'm going to tell you something. God will bless you. I'm going to live it with you. God will bless you. But I say to you, you got to treat these kids right. You got good kids, you got bad kids. They know what to do, y'all. They ain't got some things. My kids are young. I got some that's lawyers, and I found some that doctor, my son a lawyer. And he was on the streets of Detroit, so he was going to sell drugs. But I didn't give up on him. Never give up. You can quit, but don't give up. It's different between giving up and quitting. When you quit, you just can't. When you give up, you just don't care. Always, the young lady says she here to give you some experience for being a foster child. You think that's a joke? She thought it ain't no joke. This is real stuff. These children been through some stuff that you see on TV. I look what told his mama the other day, said, you were going to adopt me if you don't get yourself straight. Now he's 80 years old. That's what he's telling his mother. If you don't get yourself straight. And he's serious about it. So I'm going to leave it all right there. Now think about it. If you ever run into any kind of problem with your child, call me before you call Sarah, okay?
Someone has a question for you, Mr. DeVos.
Go ahead.
Little kids that fight and fight.
So what now?
Have you ever had a little kid and all they want to do is fight and kick?
Let me tell you something. We had two brothers, right? I was rescuing one, and the other one was at the church with the other lady. We get these two boys together. Every time they saw each other, they fight like dogs and cats. This little boy was a little bigger than Elijah. This boy was strong. The pastor had to hold him like this here. All they did was fight. Only thing we could do was just hold him until they get tired. When you get tired, you go to sleep. Only thing when you get serious with one of the kids, when somebody finna set something on fire, you want to get serious, then you want to cause a war, you know what I'm saying? But that fighting and stuff like that, I done had a lot of them fight all the time. But I don't let them hurt each other. But those two brothers, I think they even had to split over one. I don't know what the problem was. They just switched at each other.
We talked a lot lately about birth parents, Mr. DeVos. Visitations and dealing with birth parents and attachment to birth parents and family members. I know you've had a lot of experience with dealing with birth parents. Can you share some of that with them and give them some insight on how to deal with birth parents so they won't be afraid?
It's all depending on what type of birth parent you got. Now, you got some great parents that really want to get their kids back. And you got some great parents that just want to make a mess. When I say make a mess, they tell you one thing, tell the kid another thing. It ain't matching up. Now, be careful how you let those kids talk to those great parents. You ought to be able to recognize a good great parent and a bad great parent. You know what I'm saying? I done had them all. I had some great parents. I have a little boy. He's in New Spring prison right now. This little boy, he's ready to go to court, ready to go back home to his mama. He's already ready now. We ready too. We think we're gonna have 6 months. We finna go back. We get to Montgomery. She sends a letter saying, I think it's the best place I don't want to go. He clicked. And that's what reason why he's in prison today. He never recovered. He was so focused on going back to his mama. But after years passed by, when I found out about it, he was a husband. He would always tell the boy, you're growing up just like your daddy, you ain't gonna be nobody. This is his stepdad, you follow what I'm saying? So you got to be able to recognize that stuff yourself. But then I have some good great parents too. But it's a situation. Sometimes you have to talk to your case manager about that stuff like that. Because see, sometimes you let them do. I found out with some of them, you have to go by Sarah's rule and say, let them call once a month, or twice a month, or like that. Let them do it. But I'm going to tell you something. No matter how bad these great parents are, these kids going to love them great parents. I don't care what they do, they're going to love them now. And you got to accept that. We was taught by a guy called Roger and a guy called Greg. We was taught old school. I mean, we come up with natural, big deal with salt, you know what I'm saying? But we had some hard times, you know what I'm saying? These guys, well, them guys I thought those guys were crazy about great parents. But I found it to be true. It's real. You better watch, you know, how you let them do it. If Sarah tell you how to do it, you do it like Sarah, then somehow you blame Sarah, you know what I'm saying? Don't you be the one to blame. If they tell you twice a month, you do twice a month, okay? But like I said, I've been through all kinds of parents. And the main thing about it, it needs more stronger men. Some of these kids, these jokers up. Sometimes, you know, they feel like they can fool them on easy. But if a man, they kind of feel man a little bit. But then you got some of them don't feel nobody. Some of my kids don't feel no man.
Alice, tell them a little bit about what you do so they know that they will have people in the home. So just tell them exactly what you're doing when you come into the home and what you're looking for and what you're there for.
Okay, when I come in the home, like you say, I'm looking. I might say something about what I see. And I'm just know that I'm documenting. Like if I come and the fire extinguisher's not on the wall or something going on, I'm gonna take that child in his or her bedroom, look and see what's going on. It's clean. It's stuff in place. I'm gonna go in that room and I'm gonna talk to that child one-on-one. And what that child tell me, I don't have to come back out and tell you what that child said. That child is confiding in me. I might like mention like Mr. Dubose did he have money in his pocket? How did he get whatever? Wanna know, did he just go and pick up stuff that you actually pay for? When I come, like I say, I'm not gonna announce when I'm coming. I want you to be in your natural element when I show up. I don't want you to rush and pick up this and pick up that because I'm coming. Some days I might come at 12 o'clock if you're at home. Other days 4 o'clock in the evening. I have no set time to show up. I'm not gonna come real late because I know these are small kids and have to go to bed. But like my teenagers, I might show up at 9 o'clock at night. Because I know they're not in the bed. But like I said, but I'm the one that you need to call. If you got something going on, don't call Miss Ball, call me first. We do the chain of command thing. I'm the one that you would call. I'm the one that you would ask those questions to. And I beg you to please pick your fights very carefully with your children. If it costs tongue, go in there and don't let up the commode. Don't call me at 12 o'clock and I don't get him let up the commode seat. Just go in there, redirect him. Can you please wipe the seat off? Do whatever needs to be done. Call if you have to. I'm not going to never tell you not to call me. 24/7 you can call me. You can text me. And you might wake me up, might be a little agitated, but I'm going to get up and come on if I have to come.
Saying you just about to show up anytime. What if we're not at home?
Oh, I leave you a note in the door. I've been here. I call you. Any other questions?
I was very afraid going into foster care. My only question to everybody is who are you and why? I acted out. I used to fight all the time. I felt like no one understood me. I had some foster parents who would just punish me simply because I was crying. You have your good ones and you have your bad ones. The ones that were good to me and my siblings as well, they talked to me. They made sure I got proper counseling. They made sure that we ate and were fed and were happy and were doing well in school. Being in foster care, knowing that I always have family all over, knowing that I was loved all over, and that I can go back to those people and appreciate them for the milestones and steps they took to create me and mold me in life.
Can you also share about the experiences that were so great? You don't have to name names, but what made it not so great?
Things that made it not so great were you have your, like he mentioned earlier, if you're in it just for a check, don't be a foster parent. Don't be an adoptive parent. I had people just tell us, you wouldn't be here if I wasn't collecting my money. You know, and it hurts us more ways than one. We remember those things as children. You know, that nobody wanted us, that it was all about money and nobody cared about us. Punishing us just simply because we made one mistake instead of trying to talk to us, we just get sent to our rooms, and you have some who don't even feed us because we act out. You have cruel people in the world. But we got through it and it was okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get too emotional. But we just really need love and someone to sit down and talk to us and teach us about God and that everything will be okay. We don't need to be constantly turned away and walked away from and talked about and talked down to because of a situation that was not in our control.
Bridget, will you elaborate a little bit about the type of placements, and then I'll let Ms. Carolyn tell us a little bit more about what we really get in our area. But generally, what type of placements the Raj will get, and then Carolyn can elaborate a little bit more.
Yes, so I did start off at Siraj in Alabama and worked in most of all of our offices. However, I've been in our DC region for 12 years now. They shipped me up there and left me. Really bad. are the children in the Alabama region, because in our DC, Maryland office, the children are much more challenging. One of the things that Siraj was known for in the state of Alabama that we took to DC was taking on the most difficult placements, the ones that nobody wanted to deal with, because we saw that we could make a difference. And I don't have anything different to say than what Mr. DeVoe said and our young lady over here said, was that our children come from a lot of trauma. You know, they come from a background that a situation they didn't make of their own. So this is why they act out. This is why we do therapeutic foster care. Just like you learned about reasons, feelings, and behaviors, the children come to us with those behaviors because of where they've been, and they don't know how to sit down and talk about, oh, I just feel bad today or hurt today, and be able to go on with it. Because some of us as adults don't know how to do that. We act out too, right? So we can't, necessarily hold it against our children who don't know how to. And it's going to take us more times than once to tell them or to show them how to be, or to be patient with them, to get them to, where we want them to be or where they should be. So the challenges are difficult. I know that, a lot of people always say, like our young lady here in pink said that I want some little kids. I'll take the big ones, but I really want the little ones. But our little children grow up and become teenagers in the system. So yes, in our other region, and I've had some here, I have an 8-year-old now who's been through about 6 of my homes in less than a month, because she's fighting, kicking, fighting, but she's coming from a parent who severely abused her. She needs somebody who's going to hold on and love her through that trauma, even when it gets difficult for us. So as foster parents, the love that you have, hold on to that. But you're going to need a little bit more to keep you and sustain you as a parent, to love these children through the pain. Even our teens, they were once little kids in the system and were passed around from place to place. They need somebody that's going to love them through that pain. If we don't pour into our teens, those are the ones that's going to be running our country some kind of way. I know that's a cliche, but it's the truth. They are the ones that's going to be the next generation. And so we have to be able to pour them. Even if you might not see that you're making a difference, but you're planting a seed. When you plant that seed, somebody else might see it grow. But don't give up on them. Don't discount the teens when it comes to them also. Because they need the love. Teens might get mad, they might get upset, they might even walk out. But our little ones, when they get upset, they don't walk out. They just, what they do, Mr. DeVoe, they become a little destructive, a little challenging, But all of them, every child, I don't care from what age from 0 to 20, 21, they need that love. They need somebody to hold on to them. So, that's what I have to say about placements. And I know Ms. Carolyn does a lot of good things with placements here, so I'm going to let her talk about the type of children that she's looking to place in your wonderful homes.
First of all, I'd like to explain the process to you, how the children come to us. Because I've talked with one person today, probably at least 6 times, because they think we have a supply of children that we can just go in and pull from. It doesn't work like that. The children come into care. The court, first of all, take children out of the home. The judge has to decide. DHR is part of that process, but the judge decides. He decides whether or not the children get to leave their parents and go into care. DHR present them with this information. If they go back home, the judge has to sign off that they go back. But when the children come into foster care, they will be assigned to DHR worker. And that worker will reach out to different foster care agencies and they usually we ask for information because we get the information on the child just to get pretty much a visual or understanding of the needs of the child. To see if we can meet those needs. Because some placements we get, they're not appropriate for us because we can't meet their needs. So we get the referral, and in the referral they have a family history, which is a comprehensive family assessment. It'll tell us all about the family history. A lot of times I read often now where the parent was in foster care. Then the children, now the parents grown up as an adult, and their children are coming in. Just simply mediation. You and Johnny made some sort of opinion, and it comes to where you say something, or Johnny say something, somebody say something they shouldn't have, and y'all about to fall apart. I want them gone. Miss Freeman will come out there, she'll be the mediator. She'll be the peacemaker. She'll come in that home and sit down with you all, point out your strengths to Johnny. Point out Johnny's strengths to you. Help you all to come back together. Help you all to stay together. Because we're not in the business of just come and get you and move when we ain't got nowhere to take you. So it's serious when we talk to you about a place and you agree to take the child. Because when you agree to take that child, we're taking that child from home, bringing him to you. And when you give up on it and say, come and get it, what am I going to do with it? That's hard. So we ask for a commitment. We ask for you to be committed to work with Johnny with all you got. Let us know the problems you have when this freedom comes in. Let us know the kind of problems you have. And then we'll brainstorm on ways to come up with different interventions to help you, to help Johnny to be easy. And after we continue to work with Johnny, you look up one day, Johnny ain't got that problem. You think, oh, you know what? I hadn't noticed it, but he hadn't done that in a while. You and your husband, you talking about it. You know, he don't do that no more. Be scared to say that, but Johnny's over there. You sit down and I say, Felicia, we got this referral and this child has this, and this. And Felicia will say, well, I think the parents can handle it because they need a man and this, that, and the other, and that's how we met. And it's all trial and error. After we met and decided we think that's a good match, then we'll call Miss Bobby and say, hey, we got a referral, and let me tell you a little something about this child. And we'll go down with this and tell you about it. Invite you to come in and sit down and read about it. So when you make a decision, remember we had this conversation, when you make this decision to take this child into your home, you know what you get. Now you may go out and tell your neighbor's child, advise you not to, because you know about confidentiality now. And you know you really shouldn't do it. But sometimes you don't follow the rules. You may not want your neighbor to tell to know that you just gave up on the child. So you go out and you fabricate something. Or you come up with something however you do it. But basically, you will know that child's history when they come to your home. And then our case managers, they will come into your home to work. They will get with you based on your schedule and find out a good time appropriate for them to come in and meet with you. Johnny's in school. You know I'm not going to come while Johnny's in school because I really need to see him too. So they're going to come into the home and from a treatment plan that we're going to put into place based on information we've gotten from DHR. DHR, they have an individual service plan, which is their plan of action of what they want Johnny to do. The needs that Johnny has that they want us to help him with. The strengths that Johnny has. So we'll know what he has that we can build off of. And then we'll know the deficits, the things we need to work on. From their plan, that service plan, we'll come up with our own plan. And then we'll put that plan into place. And that plan is not locked in. It's one that's a working plan. So as time goes on, you may see something, Ms. Freeman may see something that Johnny needs to work on that we didn't even know was a problem. And she may say, Ms. Paul, I read or I noticed or the teacher suggested that Johnny has this problem. We need to add that to this treatment plan. And then we'll set out, Ms. Freeman and I, come up with interventions to help Johnny to work with that problem. She'll come up with some interventions that she's gonna use in the home to teach you how to teach Johnny how to overcome that problem. And it's all a strategy. You're the teacher. You're the professional family teacher. You're going to teach Johnny how to overcome his struggles, his hurdles, his problems. Ms. Freeman, she's going to teach you ways to teach Johnny. Like, this is not working. She's going to go out and research and she's going to come up with some more ways to teach you better Johnny. Sometimes Johnny may have a crisis. She's going to come out there and she's going to help you and Johnny work.
Remember, look what they got it torn out and black and the fellow. And this guy got it. This boy was terrible. I mean, he would jump in the bed, he would try to jump around my throat. I couldn't do nothing with him. So I gave him back. So, you know, I'm thinking the little boy gone. I saw the little boy last year. I'm like, don't I know you? He said, yeah, Mr. Boy, ain't I changed? I'm like, man, that's no joke with Easter. It's just amazing how that little boy changed. But see, I couldn't make him change. What's his name?
Somebody say
Miss Sam got it, she changed it. But see, everybody ain't gonna be a match now. But give them a chance to see. Once you give them a chance to see, then they'll work it out. But this is a joke. I give up on it. I don't give up on kids. I give up on this, it's in the rainbow. But that little boy, she told me, oh yeah, they going to this place, one place. I said, wait, did he go to church too? She said, yeah, he go to church, he loves church. That's the way it goes.
I want to introduce someone to you now that she keeps all of us in line here. She's the mean one in the office. She only you here. This is our human resources director. Thank you, Bridget. She is responsible for making sure all the documents that I asked you guys for, we have to have that same thing that we have to have. Just like you guys. Okay, so that's why she's the main, because I'm a procrastinator when it comes to turning in my paperwork. Okay? I changed my But our kid is the human resources director. So she makes sure that we get the training that we need to be able to provide the services that we do for you guys. Sometimes I heard talk a little bit about that and how important it is for you to maintain your training hours, how important it is for you to make sure that all your paperwork stays up to date, because you are an employee for Suraj, just as we are.
All right, thank you. I think. But I can actually speak from both sides. Because primarily I'm responsible for hiring employees at Suraj, regardless of if they're in Alabama, DC, or Maryland. And it's important for me to understand what the agency does, what the employee is responsible for doing, going out in the homes, so that I can make sure, try my best to make sure that I hire the right folks. And so it's not just me, it's not a one-person decision. The managers, of course, interview the candidates, but that's my ultimate responsibility, and that's just very important. Of course, you make a placement, and Ms. Ball and Ms. Freeman talk about what case managers do when they get to the home, but we have to make sure we have case managers. So it's very important. I'm glad I was invited here, today just to be a part of it. It's my first time, actually. But that's my ultimate responsibility. And on the flip side, when it comes to the foster parent, Ms. Ball has taught me a lot. I don't think she really realized she's not therapist and she doesn't know that. But between Ms. Ball and between everybody, actually, has really taught me a lot about foster care in general. Being a part of the different audits, oh my God, I learned a lot about that. And that was the first thing I thought about when Felicia mentioned all the paperwork that she has talked to you about, and at the beginning of the class, all right, pass it up, give it up. Okay, it's very important. Ms. Ball talked about how
responsibility is to teach, but that has to be documented. And so I'm sure you already learned about the proper documented and such. And all that documentation has to be timely submitted and placed in the child's file, and then documentation that you have to keep up just for your file as well, everything pertaining to your home. The training hours that Felicia mentioned, very important as well. We're audited by several different agencies. We probably have, I mean, about four audits. And and if doing those audits, they look at your file as the foster parent to make sure everything is in there as it should be, nothing is expired, your training hours are current. They look at the employee files to make sure everything I done begged the employees for and got on their nerves about is actually in their files as well. And so that's very important, the whole documentation piece, and I'm pretty sure we probably spent a lot of time on it at some point doing the training.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I just want to make sure the right people are hired who can come out and really provide supportive services for the children that are referred to us. Because this is what we do, and what you do is very important. Yes, the child is still in DHR's custody. When you think about it and the process involved, the placement and the referral process that she just explained, DHR has trusted us to place a child into another person's home. And so that's a huge responsibility you have and that we have. So I want to make sure that you're getting the right support from the staff, whether it's a case manager, as Ms. Freeman, whether it's the social worker, because I think, have you met Sharmika? Okay, great. So the last meeting, so she was newly promoted to a social worker. And so whether it's the social worker who comes out and makes sure your homes are compliant and your training hours remain current, and any other support services that they provide as well, that's my ultimate responsibility. And so I want to make sure that I do that, and I do it to the best of my ability with team support, of course.
I think we had talked at the, what it was, Carolyn, when you came to visit us, we was out there doing the clinical notes. When we did the clinical notes, I think you kind of covered it a little bit, like, let's say, for example, if a child have issues with weight, and you know how weight can affect the heart and diabetes and high blood pressure and things like that. So if you're going to be teaching them how to prepare healthy meals, how to eat healthy. So it's just simple step by step, just like you know, you read a recipe about how to bake a cake or whatever. You just write down those simple steps of how you taught that child to make oatmeal or to cook something healthy. That way, when it comes to the office and everything, I'm quite sure Carolyn will give you guys a little bit more detail about how to do those notes and everything. Like I said, when it comes to the building department, if your notes get rejected, it's going to say a reason on why. So don't get discouraged or anything like that. That's what Ms. Freeman is here, and you guys met Sharmika earlier last week, and she'll go over with you and help you better understand what is going on with that. Because we do have to submit those. We do generate a spreadsheet and we send that to Medicaid. So they do have ways to see what you guys are documenting. So just make sure whatever you guys do, that it is in compliance with Suraj and with DHR. If it's not, ask, you know, like I said, we're in partnership, just ask. A little bit about the financial part, I'm not going to go into any details about the dollar amount. It's not important right now, but you will get paid just once a month. Okay, we actually turn your notes in weekly, and we sum it up, we get paid once a month. However, if there's an issue or something like that, we really don't like to talk about it, but we can do another billing cycle at the end of the month. So if for some reason you got your paperwork in late or whatever, we do have a second billing cycle at the end of the month, but you will get paid. If there's some discrepancies about your pay, just contact Carolyn if you. Just contact Carolyn if you have any issues with your paperwork. She will take care of that, look into that for you guys to make sure you guys get paid properly.
We have a special event that's coming up in August, and I've been talking a little bit about it. Y'all heard me talk about it, and I'm going to let Bridget elaborate a little bit
foster parents up in the DC, Maryland area, they get really, really jealous when they see the training site at the Grandma Home House and how beautiful it is, and you know how kids can run around and things like that. But last year we made our first trip from there, 2 busloads with foster parents and children, to the Grandma Home House in August. And so this August they wanted to come back, and so we are having it for. We call it the family reunion because we're inviting all foster parents from all over the state of Alabama to be there also, where you can meet some of our children and parents up on the East Coast. So we're doing a lot of fundraising in various communities. We're trying to get a booklet of ads that also, it's called a Civil Rights Tour. So we're bringing a lot of children who have never traveled outside of the District of Columbia to the South. And last year, from our teens to our small ones, they just really, really enjoyed it. We have a 20-year-old who's aging out next month, and he wanted to come back. And so Mr. Siraj, you know, when Mr. Siraj visited up there, he asked could he still come back, and Mr. Siraj said yes, and I would pay him to come back. So, I mean, the kids really, really did enjoy it. And you guys already know that based on just coming out there. Some of you probably have already been out there. But just want to make you aware of that because we'd like to see your faces again in August. So, that's all.
You know the day?
Yes, well, that Saturday, we leaving on the second Saturday is when we're having it at Grandma Home House, the 13th, yes, August the 13th. So we, you know, make a plan to visit. And it's all, well, I don't know what time it's going to start. I think we started last year around 1.
Yes.
And so we're going to have the concession stand up, the food, they have water slides, and have a big fireworks show at the end of the night. They had the horseback riding last year, and you know, all kind of games, the bikes, the basketball court is where the teens hung out. All kind of things go on. And that's why I met the Dubos. I don't know if they remember me, but I saw them last year, and I just remember Mr. Dubos giving an excellent speech with the parents, and I think they had a child that spoke, the one I think he's talking about, they got accepted into all the colleges, and she gave her story, which was really inspirational for the children that came from our region as well. So it was really a great event.